Okay, it's 39 minutes after 6 a.m. Roland Walker, where are you? I feel so alone, but I'm very comfortable. Let's do the newspapers now, and let's start off with the Daily Graphic newspaper. Let's check the front page of the Daily Graphic newspaper out. Asante Apietu named IGP. That's the story on the front page of the Daily Graphics. Actually, the banner headline here. EC releases timetable for Council of State election. Another story. Power companies to mitigate impact of shortfall in generation. Comes with a picture of Minister Designate for Energy Boakye Ejiako. And Ghana face DR Congo on Sunday at AFCON quarterfinals. But let's do page 17 on this. EC releasing a timetable for the election of the Council of State members. And here we are. It says that the Electoral Commission has released a timetable for the election of Council of State members, slated for February 9 this year. The EC's timetable indicated that nominations open from January 20, and filing of nomination will be closed today, January 26, for the election to come off on February 9. And it goes on and on and on to tell you about what the Constitution mandates the Council of State under Article 89 to do. More details in the Daily Graphic newspaper. Also on page 16, a little bit of this issue that says that power producers have assured the public that adequate measures have been put in place to mitigate the impacts of the shortfall in power generation due to the shutdown of the Atuabo gas processing plant for maintenance. And as part of the mitigation measures, additional power would be generated from the Akosombo and Pong hydroelectronic plants, which operates on light crude oil, as well as the Tema and Pong thermal plants, which operates on diesel. A statement issued jointly by the Volta River Authority, the Electricity Company of Ghana, and the Ghana Grid Company in Accra said some of the thermal units at Aboase that had been shut down for plant maintenance will be returned into service during the shutdown period. So that's it about this impending shutdown. Hopefully we don't experience doom cry, and we hope that the measures that they put in place will do a good job. Let's do the Ghanaian Times newspaper next. Asante Apietu, and I tell you what, he's on the front page of almost all the newspapers today, and rightly so, because he's acting IGP. Asante Apietu appointed acting IGP as John Kodalo retires. And Ghana Brazil discusses $13.66 million grant for Blood Sickle Cell Center. No doom so soon, power producers declare. 9 girls rescued from forced marriage in Kumasi. And we talked about this issue. Justice Baidu putting the piece together. He's actually been doing series on this young girls being forced into early marriage. And his piece was in Nima. This one, paper is reporting, happened in Kumasi. I can read a bit of the story for you. Page 18 inside the Ghanaian Times newspaper this morning. And it says that 9 teenage girls were rescued from forced marriages in the Ashanti region over the past 6 months. And Mr. Stephen Ofosu Dafoe, the regional director of the Department of Children, told the Ghana News Agency that the victims were aged between 13 and 16 years. They're all Muslims and of Malian and Chadian descent, he added. Details of that story and a whole lot more stories in the Ghanaian Times newspaper. Let's do the Daily Guide newspaper next. Nana names Apietu acting IGP. 3 CEOs fired. The picture there is that of Alex Mould. We'll tell you a bit about this story. MPs OK 13 ministers. Boakye Ejiako, Haji Alima Mahama, Gloria Kufu, Shelley Ayahoboche, and Yao Osafo-Maffo on the front page with the headline. And it says that all things being equal, the Appointments Committee of Parliament will recommend the approval of all the 13 ministerial nominees who have been vetted by the members. 8 of the ministers designate who had earlier appeared before the committee have been given a clean bill of health to be approved by the whole House. And according to media report, the approval of Senior Minister Designate Yao Safo Mafo and Energy Minister Designate Boachi Chremantinge Jakon were put on hold for the meantime because of some unresolved issues relating to their vetting. Well, myjoyonline.com reported, and is still reporting when we get to the online review, we'll touch on that, the fact that 2 ministers designate, it looks like they've been put on hold, but for what reason? We'll get into all the details. And I'm looking for the 3 CEOs who've been sacked. And I wonder, why don't they just resign but wait for them to be sacked? And it says that former Chief Executive of Kumasi Asante Kotoko, Dr. Kofi Kodua Sapon, has been appointed the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation. The former CEO of the Tema Oil Refinery replaces Alexander Kofi Mensah Mould, who has been occupying the position since 2013. President Nana Akufo-Addo has also directed the Chief Executive of the Ghana Tourism Authority, Gideon Ayikwe, to immediately step down and hand over to the Tourism, Arts and Culture Minister Designate Catherine Apeko. A letter authored and signed by the Executive Secretary of the President, Nana Asante Bediatuo, stated that the decision to sack the GTA boss is in accordance with Section 14, Clause 1 of the Presidential Transition Act 2012, Act 845. So you find Dr. Wilfred Enim Odame, Gideon Ayikwe, and Alex Mould featured in this story. All 3, they've been fired. Let's do the Daily Dispatch newspaper next. Dismissal of government appointees in assemblies, part of 2016 local government law to be amended. Certified 2016 parliamentary results, and Benefsin is advertising that. You can find on his website. Asante Apietu is new IGP. So these are the stories you find on the front page of the Daily Dispatch newspaper. Let's turn our attention now to the Daily Statesman. Apietu is new IGP. President tax police to be professional. NDC agents expose fraud in party. And Albert Kwei Ajay says the distraction era of Chop Chop is over. Group challenges Gadangbe youth over MMDCE's appointment. Simon Osei Mensah, I'm coming to work for all Asante Mine. But I'm kind of interested in this NDC expose, and it says that the National Democratic Congress ward executives and party agents in the Kintampo North constituency have registered their displeasure about some financial malfeasance perpetrated by some constituency executives. You can read more on that. 2 financial newspapers or finance newspapers. Let's do the Business Finder newspaper. Front page of the Business Finder. Tax cuts will boost revenue and ensure businesses thrive, according to an expert. You can read about it. Export revenues up $700 million. That's the Business Finder newspaper. The Business and Financial Times. Gold exporters want consolidation of taxes. Varsities fail to research function. Oxford Business Report. That's according to them. Cocoa liberalization or chaos. It's a big question on the front page of the paper. Back page of the Business and Financial Times. Gasem Cement repackaged. GOIL holds annual national sales conference. So really that's it for the newspapers that we have here in the studio. Now you know what's making front page, back page headlines in the various newspapers. Let's do the online now, and of course we start off with myjoyonline.com. There's a profile of the acting IGP David Asante Apietu. I think he's had a very interesting career. You can check his profile out if you missed what we brought to you in the AM News. Also on myjoyonline.com, Maiden Tech and Ghana Confab sets for London in February. Building a corporate team that cares and wins. The Trump era and the Ghanaian dream. Okay. Security expert calls for a stronger police council to support new IGP. Gideon Ayikwe directed to hand over as Tourism Authority CEOs. Changes for Black Stars as Avram hands 2 AFCON debuts, but we know that we lost in that game, right? To Energy Ministry. Create environment. Okay, I missed that. Create environment for no money down solar lease. And there are lots more stories when you log on to our website, myjoyonline.com. You can read all about the stories making headlines on the page today. We'll do City FM Online. Catherine Afeku, not a fraudster, qualifies to be minister. That's according to her lawyer. Also, Ghana drops further in 2016 corruption ranking. It made huge headlines yesterday. Shutdown of Ghana Gas will not cause doom, so ECG seemed to be assuring. We didn't exceed election budgets. That's the Electoral Commission speaking. That comes with a picture of the EC chair, Charlotte Osei. But we know that government has released some monies to the Electoral Commission so it can begin to pay some of the people that they owe. Parliament to consider ministerial vetting report today, and there are quite a number of ministers designates who are also appearing before the appointment committee, and we will bring you that vetting when the process begins this morning live right here on Joy News. So that's it for City FM Online. Let's finish off with the Africa page of the BBC. Islamists lose key Benghazi districts. That's the story. The Somali hotel bomb attack kills 28. Player let go over Islamic charity link. SA police sees some 5,000 donkey skins. And there are other stories on the BBC Africa page that you can certainly check out. All right, I guess we're done with our online review and the newspapers as well. If you heard me review any story and you feel strongly about it, you can log on to the website and read all the details. But please, whatever you do, make sure you go to the newsstand and buy the newspapers and read the stories and keep them as well.